The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. This week on the show...
Space!
Hey friends, and welcome back to the Film Addicts podcast. I'm here with Space, and we're going to be talking about it. It's amazing. Those of you who don't know, that last little clip was from, I think it's from a video game called Wing Commander. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments. But it's Tim Curry, and he's banging on about leaving the capitalist nations for space. And it had to be used. It had to be done. But anyway, regardless of all that, welcome back, welcome back. Hope you're all well. And I'm here with Addy. What's going on? What's going on, buddy?
I thought you were here with Space. I'm Space.
Space wouldn't sound like that. Space would sound like Galactus or something. It'd be like... Space would sound like the entire soundtrack of Interstellar.
I'm Space.
Holy shit! That's fucking gangster. Do I get that recording?
Yeah, I think you do.
Fantastic. If not, I'm going to have to add something in there so that it's an effect. But if it works, mint. So good. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. We're talking Zathura, a space adventure. Is it Zathura or Zethura?
I think it's Zathura.
Yeah, that's what the little shit ape says at the end when he's like, "It's a black hole." These kids are shit. These kids are shitty kids. I'm sorry. They're so annoying. That little motherfucker from the Hunger Games pictures. Oh, forget about it. I want to slap him with a turkey.
Thank God it was that.
And not a penis. Not a turkey slap.
You didn't have
but an
to say
actual
it.
turkey. No, I do. I need to clarify. It's the internet. Anyway, what's been going on? What's been happening with you apart from space?
I'm alright. I went and watched Sinners last night and I haven't slept since. But we'll get into that. How are you?
Oh man, Sinners. That's my picture of the year so far. If for no other reason than the clip that's doing the rounds at the moment of of Haley Steinfeld talking about Stack putting his tongue up her coos and fucking her so hard. Like, it's just spectacular. And it's fucking such a powerful performance, and it went to a completely different place than I thought it was going to go. It's basically... You know what? We'll get into it when we talk about what are we watching, because we're going to have to do some Sinner stuff. In fact, we're probably going to have to do an episode on it when it comes out on 4K or some shit.
I was thinking about it. I would fucking love to do that anytime.
All right. Well, we'll finish up our Jumanji-a-thon, our Jumanji adjacent thing, and I think we'll do Sinners after that. But anyway, what was the question?
How are you doing? Was the question?
I'm all right. Just, I can remember things for 45 seconds. Been editing all day, so I'm a bit flat. I'm going to go and check out The Accountant 2 tomorrow because I need my accounts done doubly. I just love me some John Bernthal. That guy's a motherfucker. And I spent, the last couple of nights watching some, like, mid-2000s rom-coms, I guess they're rom-coms. I don't know, not really. That fucking one I watched last night wasn't.
Yeah,
The Spectacular Now is not a comedy.
That's not a comedy. I think it would classify as a drama first, like a romance drama.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that as when we get into the thing. But other than that, I'm fine. I'm all good. So shall we... Oh, before we get into that, what are we watching of it all, you wanted to talk about something new. Is that right? You wanted to do something special.
Yes, so we're going to introduce this segment and we'll
get
see...
two dicks out and go and, like, thwap them onto the... Everybody, that's what our penises sound like. How did we get there already? Fuck. Okay. 5 minutes in. Been 2 dick jokes already. Okay. Sorry, what are we going to do?
Right, so this is going to be a new segment and we'll see if this sticks or not. But it's basically us weekly just recommending stuff to each other. So it can be any type of media. Could be comic books. Could be like a song. Could be... don't make it a song. Make it an album. Be brave.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So yeah, and we'll talk about it in the following episode and what are we watching or whatever.
If you can get a hold of it, that is. That's, you know. I was going to recommend Sinners, and you fucked me up and went and saw it, you son of a bitch. But cool. All right. Well, what's your recommendation to me?
Well, no. You think of anything else?
I've got another one. I just it's not a movie, so it might be.
Mine is a movie because I wanted to start easy. It's Asteroid City by Wes Anderson.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it either, so I'm excited. Why are you recommending that? Out of all of his work, I know you rewatched Grand Budapest.
I did. I wanted to watch
Budapest.
I wanted to watch. I wanted to rewatch the Asteroid City again, but it's also I watched it like 7 times in theaters. That's a lot. Like that's more.
A lot. Did you sneak into any of those? Because that's an expensive proposition.
I went to the Art House Theater because that's the only theater that shows Wes Anderson films. So
yeah, that's not a surprise.
That was cheaper. But Asteroid City, because it's the most weird and the most mainstream he's ever gone.
It's a hard line to walk, both of those things. He walks between the raindrops, old Wes. Yeah, bless him. Okay, cool. All right, and so the idea of this segment is for us to do this thing and then report back next week.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. I like it. What about me? It's my turn. Why am I going to say, what about you? I would very much. I was also going to recommend The Spectacular Now, but according to Letterboxd, you've seen it. Yeah, I'm currently reading a graphic novel series written by Ed Brubaker, who did a run on Captain America that's super famous. He created the Winter Soldier, and his Cap run is really like the 3 Cap movies are heavily influenced by his run. He wrote like 125 issues, including some stuff of a Winter Soldier spin-off and shit. But he's more well known for writing crime graphic novels, like Sleeper, which was a Vertigo thing, a sort of anthology book called Criminal, Fatale. He did a great 3-part series, which I've got as a collected thing called The Fade Out, which was set in sort of 1930s, 1940s. Actually, it wouldn't have been then. Well, roundabouts then anyway. Hollywood, about these screenwriters and the people who are blacklisted and all that stuff. It's really good. But the one I'm reading at the moment, he and his longtime art sort of partner, Sean Phillips, who I think is a Brit, worked on a series of specifically made to be graphic novels during the pandemic. And they kind of set themselves a goal of like releasing one every year, and they ended up doing like 2 or 3 in like 10 months. And there's these beautiful like hardcover 150-page graphic novels that look like old dime store noir novels with the great painted cover and stuff. And the series is called Reckless, and that's the name of the main character, Ethan Reckless, and he's like a kind of like a PI who works out of a rundown cinema, and it's set in the 80s, and then sort of the series sort of moves forward in time and you get kind of closer to the 90s and stuff like that. But it's really fucking good. The first book's just called Reckless. The second one's called I think it's called The Devil You Know, and then there's 3 more in the series that I haven't read yet. I've only read the first 2, but Reckless is probably like one of the best graphic novels I've ever read. I was just in it the whole time, and I barely put it down. I think I might have read it in 2 sessions, like over an evening. And I think it's something that you would enjoy because it's literature. Like it's not just a graphic novel or a comic book or whatever, like his Cat Run is. It's a proper piece of literature. And I dug it so much. So yeah, Reckless, if you can get a hold of it, it's really, really good.
I will try it. I will probably not be able to get like a hard copy, but soft copy may be possible.
Yeah, you might be able to get a softie. Absolutely. Yeah, it's really good. The art's beautiful. The story is really great. I was shook a couple of times turning pages and something happened. I'm like, fuck my hole. Like, it was just really... And I don't get that way with comics. Like, I read comics every single day of my life. And it doesn't actually... They're not that affecting all the time. But when they are, you remember them. Like, I'll always remember this series now. So, yeah.
That's amazing. I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah, you'll dig it the most. The art's stunning too. Like Sean Phillips is at his peak on that work. I haven't seen anything he's done recently, but it's beautiful and it's like rich. It's like the difference. He digitally paints, but it's like the difference between film and digital, like in terms of the way things look, and the colors are really rich, and yeah, the characters are so well drawn. You don't like the story is almost secondary to what's happening to them, and it's a beautiful panel of Ethan Reckless sitting on the beach smoking a joint, and just a ream of interior monologue sitting next to him, like in this beautiful painted picture. I've never seen anything like it. So anyway, that's a huge rant about how good Reckless is. You should all check it out if you like comics.
Oh yeah.
Or if you like crime fiction, I guess.
Awesome.
So that's what's up there. Do I need to talk about what are we watching? Because I'm watching some beautiful shit. So what? You didn't pick it up. I thought you'd be like, yeah, okay, we're going to do it like that. You ready? We're going to do it again.
Okay.
What
are
we
watching?
Damn it, I did it the wrong way around and you got the watching part. Fuck! Should we just talk about Sinners straight up because we both saw it?
We can do a little bit of a review, but I do have like other stuff to get to.
Yeah, of course. Let me hear your feelings about Sinners.
So I was going to go to it opening night, but I wasn't able to. And then I wasn't able to for the rest of the week. So weekend, I went to it. And it was a fucking hustle. Because me and my friend, we were going to go to it because we both live in different parts of the city. And we're gonna go to the 12 p.m. show. And at 11 a.m. I checked and it was fully booked. So we shifted to the 7:40 p.m. And let me tell you, there were 15 kids in that theater, and
that's all, or 15 kids and a bunch of other people.
No,
also?
it was a bunch of other people, but there were 15 kids in that theater, all under probably 10.
What?
And
is it because the Black Panthers was in it, or they recognise it? There's double kill. What's his name? Killmonger.
No. Fuck no. Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, yeah, but what's his character's name in?
Oh, yeah, Killmonger.
Panther? It is Killmonger. That's
a
ridiculous name. The double of him is almost too much to handle. It's almost as much as one Haley Steinfeld.
I would like to disagree, but you have your own opinion.
It's just like, if he was any better looking, he would have to double. You know what I mean? It'd be too much for the universe to take that in one package.
That is true. But at one point in the film, is the very first jump scare, and like 5 of them just got up and left because it was at 7:00 and it was a jump scare in like the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking diarrhea all around, kids.
So I haven't been able to check it out in IMAX, which is where you can see the aspect ratios change. So that's up next, hopefully tomorrow, because I need that because it's my oxygen. But I fucking loved it so much. It's insane how like the big twist they already spotted in the trailer, which is vampires. But it's so much not about that. Like it's so much more about the experience of freedom and the struggle of just having one good night, and these people just not letting them live alone, or like letting them be. It's so much about. It's weird because I'm really excited about the vampire part, so I'm going to jump to that first. The most silliest thing about vampire lore is that you have to give them permission to get in. It's the most silliest part. And they made it so fucking intriguing and so fucking interesting. And the part where they're all singing outside the jukebox, also we're fucking spoiling it because why the fuck not?
Yeah, I mean, I was bummed because I was only under the impression that Ryan Coogler was making a vampire picture. You know what I mean? And I didn't know the ins and outs of that. And I would have preferred not to know. Mm-hmm. The same way that you don't know in From Dusk Till Dawn. Well, I didn't know watching From Dusk Till Dawn going in that it was going to have vampires in it. And that's actually what this reminds me of most, is that, but a more prestige version of it. It's that and Midnight Mass. That's those two things mushed together with the double B. Jordan and... and all grown up Haley Steinfeld and the fantastic dance sequence, which at first I was like, this is ridiculous. Oh, wait, hang on. No, I understand what he's doing. Fucking awesome. Like, It took me just a second to get on board with what, I won't say what it is, but what's going on in that shit. And then as soon as I got with it and I started to feel it change and I got groove with it, I'm like, this is something special. Like, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I hijacked your point.
No, absolutely not. So that part that you're talking about that we're not going to spoil because it's supposed to be experienced in a theater. That's like the lore of that scene is actually very, very true. And it goes to not only like Native Americans and African culture, but also to Scandinavia, which is also where, and it's very true that the actual encounters in air quotes with vampires is that they would come out at night and sing to lure people outside. That's very true. And yeah, and it's insane that Ryan Coogler pulled from that because at face value it's so comical, but it's completely opposite. I love how it's the only 45 minutes of like the vampire shit that we get.
Yeah, it really is. Like it is so good at doing the thing that like Stephen King does best, where it sets up all of these characters and you get into their lives and then all of a sudden they start fucking dropping like flies and you give a shit. Like, I didn't want anyone to die.
Yeah.
Like, it was, I was so on board with it. There's a moment where he's in the car, it's Stack and his cousin, the musician,
yep.
and that he hasn't heard him play now that he's a grown-up, and he starts playing, and just the look on B. Jordan's face, he's like, whoa, we're going to make some money. Like, it's just the authenticity of their behavior, even though I wasn't around then, so I didn't know what people behaved like at that time. And even the joke I made before about Haley Steinfeld, like, yeah, that's a really sexy thing that she says, but it's also, like, really accurate to, like, a ballsy noir type character, which is what she is of that time period. Yeah, it probably won't because it's genre, but it should win Oscars. It should win for score, cinematography, and screenplay at least. And director and picture all, if there's 10, if they're doing 10 now, it should at least be nommed, Not that those things mean anything, but yeah.
I know that this won't win, but it will always be my favorite film of the year. I know Fantastic Four is coming and no Superman is coming, but this is my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, those other things, though, it's like, okay, some more of the same. Like, this is not what we're expecting. I did love that meme of Homelander sitting in the cinema frowning, and it said Kevin Feige watching Sinners, realizing he should have let Ryan Coogler direct Blade. Like, that's kind of the thing. If it was the same movie, but there was one Mike, it was Michael B. Single, and and he was Blade, fucking forget about it. Like, it would have been amazing. But I'm glad that it is an original piece of material as well. It's although it cribs from all different places, it's an original work.
Yeah.
Like, it's spectacular. If you haven't seen it, it can't be missed. Like, it's not playing at most of the cinemas that I normally go to. The Astor's not doing it. They might later on if they get a 60mm version or something like that. But the Cameo's not doing it because they can't. I don't think they can handle the frame size, and they don't want to compromise people's vision of it. So I went to a random theater and saw it. I think it would have been the 187 version of it, which is, it's cropped. It's smaller than the IMAX, but it's stretched. Like, you get more either side. It's that beautiful, like, proper, almost like the Panavision style, which was really cool. So anyway, we're going on and on about this movie, and it's not even the movie we're talking about. We're talking about space. Was there anything else that you watched?
Yeah, I rewatched all of Andor for the season premiere of season 2. Andor is something else. It's a beast, and it's for people who grew out of Star Wars, because it's not like Tony Gilroy, who's the creator and writer of the show, doesn't give a shit about like Jedi and like lightsabers and anything. He doesn't give a shit about any of the lore except the story that he's telling. And I think Star Wars desperately needs that. Desperately. It's hard to like talk about Andor because so much of it is in its like its tone and its like the things that happen. The first season takes place 5 years before we see him in Rogue One. And the second season is now and like the first season is just one whole year, and the second season is like it's coming out in 3 parts. So like 1 to 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and each set of episodes is a year after the other, and they're bridging the gap from season 1 to when we first see him in Rogue One, and it's
So they're doing that over 2 seasons, bridging that time period. Wouldn't it make more sense to do 5 seasons leading up to it, or they're worried they won't get that many?
yeah, that was the plan though, because it would like each season would be a year of his life leading up to when we see him. But Tony Gilroy was like, by the time we end the show, Diego Luna will be 60, and I will probably not be here.
Well, I mean, maybe I should go back. I watched the first episode and it didn't grab me, but I'm not a huge Star Wars person. I do like all the fucking brouhaha that's going on about the re-release of Revenge of the Sith, though. People are losing their minds. Like, in a good way. They're all so excited.
They're also cheering when Anakin like lights up the lightsaber in front of the poor kid, which is, let's be concerned about those kind of people. Like, please.
Who's like into killing younglings?
Yep.
Absolutely. I think you've missed a point, pals.
The reason why Andor is so dear to me now, which is the only thing is that Star Wars, for the majority of it, it's run through TV and through movies, has been like this overarching story of supernatural beings with laser swords, and Andor is not that. Andor is the antithesis of the dialogue that Yoda says, where you either do or not. There's no trying, and Andor is literally, we have to try because nobody else is coming to save us. And it's very real. It's majority of the cast is human, like as in they're playing human characters. And like the true fantasy of that show is that they're building a rebellion, and it works.
I might have to go back after I've watched Asteroid City and see if anything sparks. I'm in the middle of watching something else at the moment, so I can only do one thing at a time these days. My brain doesn't work that way. Awesome. Well, I've got 2 things. One is Magazine Dreams. It's a tough watch, not only because of its subject matter and it's the focus of it. The story is this particular dude, played by Jonathan Majors. Sorry, this is the film that kind of got canned after all of his, incidents. But it's like you're rooting for this guy, and it's not Taxi Driver. Like Taxi Driver, you know that Travis Bickle's a bad guy, but you kind of root for him because he's at least half trying to do the right thing. The character that Jonathan Majors plays in this is not. It reminded me of Nitram, which is or Nitram, the film that Justin Kurtzel made, an Australian filmmaker, about the Port Arthur massacre that happened in Australia, and it was sort of centered around that the troubled young man who did that. But it was more of a commentary on this is what happens when someone with that psychopathy has access to guns. And it was a cautionary tale. This didn't feel like that. Like at the end of it, you're supposed to forgive him for all of the horrible shit that he did. So yeah, it was tough to watch. It was beautifully photographed, and Jonathan Majors, it's such a shame that he ended up being, a violent person, because he is a remarkable actor. There's no denying it. But that movie is also a lot about violence, and so seeing him do that is, yeah, it's uncomfortable. I'm glad I watched it. I won't watch it again. And the other thing I watched last night, because I'd watched 500 Days of Summer just on a whim, and I was looking up the writer who also wrote a film called The Spectacular Now with Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. And it is absolutely stunning. Like, it is a remarkable piece of fiction. The performances, that those 2 actors, particularly Shailene Woodley, are so honest and so truthful. I didn't know where the script started and they began. Like, a lot of it, there's one tracking shot from them at a party by a river, and they walk up talking to each other like through the forest, and it ends with a kiss, where the camera work was so clumsy, and there's moments where like he knocks his head on a tree and she laughs, and it was so authentic, it was so rich and so real. I was completely convinced that they were, it was ad-libbed, that they'd just been given a basic way to go. I had no idea it was going to be about alcohol addiction the way that I did, the way that it is. And the like first loves and, you know, the first like sexual experience is so authentic. Like that's what it is. It's fucking awkward and weird and you laugh and it's clumsy and you're kind of trying to figure it out. And then the guy who's really damaged and the girl who wants to save him. And it's just like, it's like in terms of embodying the teen shit that we don't get out of as adults. We never grow out of that, but we just now have adult language and adult horse shit to kind of ignore it. Like the way that Miles Teller's character is, and it's mirrored in his father, who's also an alcoholic and, you know, not a great guy. He's on that track. And so all the things that afflict you at that age, you are forgiven for because of your age, and then you just end up being the same person as an adult, but you have an excuse because it's whatever, it's trauma or it's, you know, that kind of thing. But like to have them really deal with it, you know, and just at the end where I won't ruin it, but everything's happened and he comes home to his mum and she's like, your dad doesn't love anything except himself. You love everyone and everyone loves you. And he just says, nobody loves me. And he means it. Yeah. You know, it's not some teenage, you know, rebel without a cause, tragic hero shit. Like this kid doesn't feel love because he's so numb. A beautiful articulation of that kind of relationship in youth and also as an adult and of addiction as well, a youthful addiction. Like I think the first time I ever got drunk, I was 13, 14. And that started me on a really specific track to, you know, getting to where I am and then recovery and all that stuff. But yeah, it's certainly, it rang a lot of bells for me in terms of that, in terms of the behavior. Yeah, and it's just a beautifully written and directed picture as well. So I would highly recommend, what is it again? Spectacular Now. Anyway, it's wonderful, all that media. Go and absorb it all, whether it's comic books or if it's movies or it's Asteroid City or it's Sinners or it's, you know, vampires biting people on the JJ. Whatever's happening in Sinners, you love it, you know. Go and check it out. Right now, though, we need to talk about a few bits and pieces that have popped up in the nerd news. Do you want to do the thing that we do?
I want to do the nerd news.
Biatch. I don't know why I added biatch. I don't often biatch.
I love.
There's a biatch in this movie, in Zathura.
I love the theory.
Make me a sandwich, biatch, or whatever it is. Sorry.
I love the theory that the robot attacks Walter because he calls him a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. It's totally fair. Fuck Walter. Do you know who Garrett Delahunt is?
Who?
He's in a mysterious role in DC's Lanterns. And he's recently posted an Instagram story, first look at a character captioned Ollie, and some storyboards. It's since been taken down. And he posted a picture of himself in a hood and mask, and it said, Ollie Ollie Oxenfree. So the theory is that he's playing Green Arrow in the DCU. It's interesting because he'd be 50. So he's playing closer to the Green Arrow who is in Dark Knight Returns. So I wonder if he's got one arm or not. Dark Knight Returns, Ollie's in the last two books, I think.
Oh, I thought
Superman pulled his arm off.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the film. I was like, there's no way there was an Ollie.
Garrett Delahunt's a great actor. He's been in heaps of shit. He was in Deadwood. I've seen him in Tall Hot Blonde, which was a great movie about internet trolling that I watched because of the We Hate Movies podcast. Oh, it was so funny. Tommy from Podcast Assemble and I are sort of getting ready to launch a sister show to our other shows called No Country for Old Films, which will be releasing, you know, middle of the year or whatever. And we were talking about like having guests on to sort of kick it off and to have that, you know, yourself and the guys from Sequel Suck and all that shit. And he goes, some people that you've mentioned on shows, this guy and whatever, and the We Hate Movies guys, they'd be great to have. And I'm like, I don't know them. They're like four of the most famous podcasters in the world. They had like a poster in the background of a Scream movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like they do it professionally. Like they're all podcasters professionally. Like, I don't know them. I spoke to Steve Sadak like at the end of last year because I wanted some recommendations about cinemas to go to in New York. So I had a short conversation with him via Instagram, but we're not chummy. So yeah, sorry. And he was like, "Oh, I thought you were pals." I'm like, "No, idiot." Follow things.
I thought so too.
Oh, really? No, absolutely not. I would love to be friends with them. They're fucking hysterical dudes. So, anyway, moving on from that, J.K. Simmons. You know the J.K. Simmons?
Yes.
Recently killed in The Second Accountant. It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer. He will return as the J. Jonah Jameson, in Marvel's Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is the 4th Spider-Man picture. How do you feel about that film?
I don't really know. But it could be that, you know, he remembers that Spider-Man killed Peter's Aunt May. So he's trying to save the kid. Like he did in the comics, basically.
I just reread Brand New Day. Like by coincidence as well. It was just like in a run of books that I wanted to get through, and great Joe Quesada art. But the J. Michael Straczynski's a little chatty for my taste. But in terms of his dialogue, it's really thick. That's got fucking Mephisto in it, and there's like deals with the devil, and Mary Jane would have to be in it a lot more, and apparently she's not. She's, you know, MJ's going to be like a small thing. I think it's in name only. I don't know how they would adapt that story properly, but it might be something about him getting it back. But they're supposed to be also like Null's supposed to be in it. Also, Venom Last Dance. Absolutely not. That movie is an absolutely not. You know how positive I am, and I thought I'm gonna give it a try. I love some Tom Hardy. No, I do not.
Not that much, you don't?
No, it was just boring. Like I found myself bored. You know, I mean, if you like Venom, it's got everything that you want in it. But yeah, anyway. Sinners is tracking to be the biggest original film of the decade. It's Like I Said, it's sexy business. Ryan Coogler's Sinners is tracking to be the biggest original film of the decade. The decade, 10 years, already earning $161 million worldwide. It is estimated to gross at least $300 million overall. I reckon there's probably going to be more than that. It's getting too much heat.
I fucking hope so.
Speaking of Brand New Day, that will begin filming in August of 2025 with a schedule of, July 31st, 2026. When is Doomsday?
May, I think.
They're going to shoot that in a year, a year, and then release it as well. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way.
That's why I think it's going to come out, like the Spider-Man film is going to come out December, because they're going to have to shift it to like July or August at the most.
Just prepare for the mass exodus of like computer artists again.
Yeah.
And finally, did you see the Predator Badlands trailer?
I did. That looks insane.
Come on, man. Give me some pred. I want one of those a year.
It is a crossover, right? Because it's Predator and Alien.
I don't know. That seems to be the rumor, but I mean, that's cool. Predator versus Alien Requiem, the second one they did, is actually really good. It's like a slasher picture, but it's aliens and predators instead of the big monster with a machete or something, you know? That's worth your time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the Predator being the protagonist. I don't really follow that thought, but it's Predator. I love that shit. So I'll be in on it. It also looked a little bit sort of more sci-fi, you know, otherworldly kind of thing. Predators is actually really good as well. I like that movie a lot. The Nimrod Atal film that was written by Robert Rodriguez, where a bunch of mercenaries and a Yakuza dude and a serial killer and someone else, a cartel person, they all get dropped on a gaming reserve, which is, run by the Predators, and they've got to kind of find their way around. That's a really good picture too. So if it's kind of in between that and Prey, I'm happy.
There's like an anthology film coming out this year, animated by the same director who did Prey, and it's Predator, but in different parts of our world's history. So there's one where there's like a bunch of samurais gonna fight him. Then there's one was like the Wild West, like
Vikings.
Yeah, there is Vikings. Yeah, that's how the trailer opens.
Bring all that shit on. Predators. It's such a great franchise because you can pull them out of any time period and drop them in. They've made that clear at the end of Predator 2, where he gives him the musket. It can always be a different predator, and it's always interesting. Prey was fucking exceptional.
Yeah.
So
after like 6 months of speculation, Netflix finally announced that there is not going to be a season 4 for Heartstopper, but there will be a film completing the journey.
Okay, how do you feel about that? That seems like we left you some scraps.
No, it's because it's adapting the very last volume of Heartstopper, and it's also being written by Alice Oseman, who is the author of the graphic novels. But yeah, I'm excited. I just there are like a few side characters that I'm really excited to see. But since it's going to be a film, I don't think we'll have like much time with them. But I'm excited to like have this chapter closed because Heartstopper is something that's really, really near and dear to my heart, and it's my fucking lock screen. But yeah, to get the chance to not only be in this world, but to have it be like a chapter of your life that's fully closed, this is going to be awesome.
And it'll be good to have a bit of a close as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of a good close, you know what else is really good closed? Space. Yes, Tim Curry, space is great when it's closed, because if it's not closed, sometimes you get fucking Zorgons attacking your ship, attacking your house ship, asteroid, whatever it's called. It's Zathura. That's what we're talking about after fucking 40 minutes of nonsense. This movie rocks. Directed by Jon Favreau, widely reported to be the film that was his thesis for doing Iron Man, and rightly so. There's a lot of DNA there, like in terms of him like being like, "Hey, this is what I did. Check it out." And they're like, "Yeah, you can do Iron Man, sure." It's really great. I stand by my comment though. Those kids are shit heaps. They're straight shit heaps.
They are not.
Okay, like. How I don't have a little brother, so you know that's I feel differently.
They're
about
not.
you, but
However, Walter is, and he needs to go to fucking space and realize that he's an asshole.
That's right. Don't all kids really? Get all parents out there. Just shoot your children into space, or somehow find a Jumanji style game. Actually, this was originally conceived as a direct sequel to Jumanji, but they kind of let that go, even though everyone's like, that's a sequel to Jumanji, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing, except in space.
I believe I had a DVD like a long time ago. Remember when we used to have DVDs?
I've still got quite a few. They're all in binders. I don't have the cases anymore, but yeah, I like physical media. I don't know. There's some stuff on DVD you can't fucking get anywhere else.
I know. Like fucking... Never mind.
Porn?
Yeah.
What would be the porn version of this? Zathura's a black hole, so... That's what we find out at the end. Zathura is a black hole.
Yep, Zathura is a black hole.
Zathanus, an anal adventure. Come on.
That's it. That's the title of the fucking episode.
No, the episode is called Space, man.
No, space, comma, man.
Space, comma, man. Yeah, because you were like, you can't do the space between us because that's an actual movie, and I'm like, space, man. Like it was just, it made perfect sense.
It has the same fucking energy of, well, that's just kind of your opinion, man.
Yeah, I'm totally channeling the dude. Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck was I saying?
Human paraquat.
Yes, DVDs.
Sorry.
I believe I have a DVD with Jumanji and Zathura in it.
It makes more sense than the other Jumanji movies with other people in them being like direct sequels. Like this makes much more sense. Like it's some deleted scene in another universe. There's a scene where the Zathura game, the board game, where does it end up?
Oh, I think they just keep it back to where Danny finds it.
Fucking no, that is Burntown. It was like we're talking about the Jumanji thing. That is taken to a river.
Well, I like to believe that like some fuckers found Jumanji and then they like all that shit happened, and once they came back into the world, they try to burn it, and when it burns, it burns and then it comes into a box that becomes Zathura. It like regenerates like the Doctor. It's
a little timeless in a way, apart from the fact that those actors have grown up to do other things. Like that, the other kid, the smaller... Okay, what are their names? Help me out here.
Well,
Walter.
There's Walter, there's Danny.
Danny.
And then there's the astronaut, and then there's Lisa.
Is Lisa. And the astronaut's played by...
Dax Shepard.
Kristen Stewart, like, really given some acting here. She's really given some stuff. You know, she's doing some work.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I just feel like immediately after this, she sort of went in to do those Twilight movies where she's comatose.
Was it after this, or was this after that?
No, these are after. Like, she's too young here for that, I reckon. Okay. It would have been, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. But it's timeless in the sense that it mixes... Actually, it's not timeless because they're doing something that everybody should be doing now, but they're not because they're lazy. The mix of digital and practical effects is outstanding. There's maybe one or two shots where the Gorgons are animated, like CG animated, and the rest of the time they're huge Stan Winston designed lizard puppets. And you will never convince me that anything a computer or fucking AI for that matter can do is better than a well-crafted, well-lit giant lizard puppet. It's just the shit. It is the fucking tits, mate. It looks, those puppets look amazing.
It's a guy in a suit.
Whatever, you know what I mean. You're just arguing semantics now. Dude in a suit, huge puppet. That head's a puppet. Like, there'd be animatronic parts to that. Like why am I doing it with my hands? You know what? I'm literally doing as if I have, like, jaws, everybody. That's fucking stupid. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not. Yep. They're not. Could be a dude in a half dude suit, half that.
Yep.
The practical nature of it, and there's shots where the robot. I'm like, what part of that is real and what part isn't? Because I know that they're blending bits and pieces, but like when it reaches into the back and pulls out the blade, and then the blade turns on, I'm like, that looks fucking legit. And all the, like, even the first thing, like the meteor shower, like, okay, a lot of that's going to be CG, but they're destroying that house with, like, squibs and stuff. Yeah, that's the thing that really struck me on this rewatch, is just how well it holds up practically. Yeah,
definitely. The robot, though, is, the torso of it is practical, and then everything else is added on. It's weird because the jetpacks, like the jet from inside the robot, it looks so real. Like it could burn off the screen.
And I was watching it on a fucking laptop. Well, I wasn't going to. I was going to watch it on the big TV, and then Perry came in and sat on me, which she doesn't often do. But he was like, I was home for the day, which has been unusual. And he was like, oh, hey, Dad, and what are you doing? And he came for some pats, and then he literally fell asleep in my lap. So, and you can't get up when a cat falls asleep on you. It's the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was hours. He was there. I managed to sneak my way out and fuck off to get a vegan pie and come back. But he didn't move the rest of the day. Like, he was very shitty when I had to get up and go and do something later on. Good old Perry. Such an old soul. I really like the 1950s style Art Deco sci-fi. That kind of like rounded edges. It's got a real Rocketeer vibe.
Yeah, especially with the astronaut going up and saving Walter. Very Rocketeer.
Yeah, and he's got the actual jetpack and everything. But yeah, just that the board game like looks like it was produced in the 50s or 60s or whatever, and the even the music kind of feels a bit that way, and like the idea of what star travel would be or what space travel would be, and the ships, like the Zorgon's ships, it's that kind of weird bullet shape that all of them were back in the day, like Mars Attacks. Yeah, it's a really fucking good movie.
You said Mars Attacks, and then my head just went to Arnold's head just bursting. That's... I'd forgotten about that, and that exists.
Still holds up. Fucking stacked cast, that movie. We're not talking about Mars Attacks. Let's get back to Zathura. So we got these two shit heaps, and one of them fucks up their dad, Tim Robbins' work, and so he has to go away for a little bit, and then they find this board game, Zathura, and he sort of starts playing by accident, like Jumanji. And the game is on, and we're into it. And you get that great thing. It's like, meteor shower, take cover. And he's like, can't read the card. So Walter reads it for him. And then the first meteor you see goes through the card. The escalation of that is really good. And then they open the door and Holmes is in space, and neither of them shit them or piss themselves. Like, if I opened my front door and it was space, I would have diarrhea.
In space.
So and he spits. Well, you know how he spits? He goes, and it floats off. That would be shit coming out of my ass into the zero grav, man.
Well, the reason why they don't shit is that Walter is such a shit brother that he hasn't made anything for them to eat. So him and his brother are fucking starving.
Right, so there's completely empty. That's right, he wants to make mac and cheese, which is so funny. It's like such a kid thing to do. Oh, sorry, we're space. We're in space. Let's make mac and cheese. To be fair, though, mac and cheese rules.
I've never had it.
You've never had mac and cheese?
Nope.
Oh, you haven't lived. Do they not have it there? They outlawed it.
Let's not, because I can get killed for that by not
That's
even
true.
commenting. Yeah.
I can say it, though. No mac and cheese, you're a bunch of knobs. That's what it is. And you should absolutely have pineapple on your pizzas.
Yes, absolutely. And no tomatoes.
I remember it was one of the first conversations we had. Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That reminds me.
Yeah.
Zathura was literally mentioned in our first ever episode. So this is an episode in the making since the very first episode.
Is that right? Fucking 4 seasons. 62 episodes. Plus some. Well, here we are. And they're in space. And then this is an interesting thing where Walter keeps getting promoted.
Yes. Like all capitalist governments do.
Yeah.
Promote the assholes.
The older white kid's the one who gets all of the shit. You know, his sister gets frozen. We'll come to that next. He's promoted to captain and he's kind of a dick about it, you know? Like, and I really like Danny. I think he would go on to be in Crazy Stupid Love. He's the one who's got a crush on his babysitter, who's then got a crush on his dad. Yeah, it's just... And he's a good little actor too, you know?
Yeah.
Someone Bono or Bonbon.
Sorry?
Bohon. Banana. What's his name?
Jesus, that's what you're trying to say?
Did you think I was having some sort of banana-based stroke?
I definitely did think that.
Don't stroke bananas, everyone. They'll ask you to leave the supermarket. We got another guy down here. He's he's filleting the bananas again. Yep, no, same guy. Yep. He's wearing a Podcast Assemble t-shirt. And he thinks it's hysterical. That's me being chased out of Woolworths.
Jonah.
With 2 bananas shoved in my mouth. Hurry up and do something, or I can't stop once I start. It's like a tick.
It's got Jonah Bobo. That's the name
Jonah
of the actor.
Bobo, of course. Jonah Bobo. He's a motherfucker, Jonah Bobo. Love him.
Yeah, I think Danny is the glue to the entire film.
Sorry. I just have an image of me, sort of half a cartoon, running out of a supermarket, being pursued by many men with 2 bananas in my mouth and happy as given a gobby. Okay, sorry. What were you saying?
I don't fucking know anymore.
You poor bugger. You've got to put up with so much from this fucking white idiot. This old white idiot who you've manacled yourself to. My God. Like Jay and Silent Bob.
Danny is the glue to the entire film. He's the emotional center. And take it away because I'm going to fucking...
Well, Captain. It's Captain. And then we move on to cryo sleep. Now, that you meet Kristen Stewart because Tim Robbins comes in and says, "Hey, teenager, you're sleeping in and you can't go on your date tonight. You got to look after your brother." And she's like, "Whatever," and just stays in bed and ignores all this happening until they come and try and get her and explain to her. And she's like, she thinks it's nighttime outside when it's actually space. I mean, technically it is nighttime, but space. And she gets in the bathroom to get ready. Well, it's technically nighttime if there's no sun anywhere. I mean, that's kind of what nighttime is.
If there is no sun, they couldn't see shit.
That's true. I don't know how space works. I've never been.
Well, that's also not fucking space, it's Zathura.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. It's the black hole. It's the singularity. She goes into the bathroom to start getting ready for this date. And in the process of being in there by herself, the 2 guys continue the game and they freeze her. Is it like your partner or your
third crewmate is in cryo sleep and for 5 turns
for
or something.
5 rolls or something like that. And you go in there and there's this puppet of like a Madame Tussauds wax figure of Kristen Stewart. She said it was really creepy to look at because it's so accurate. Like, it's really accurate. Now, I understand that she was a teenager at the time.
Fuck me.
Listen to me. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. We have to be serious about it, okay? We have to be serious about it. She's a grown woman now. Not that makes it better, honestly. There is no world where what I'm about to say is made better.
I already know what you're gonna say.
But you've got to live in the real world, people. Like, I nearly Googled what happened to that puppet, but I thought I might get put on some sort of a watch list. That thing is in somebody's basement right now, covered in cum, right? Like, it is just... It must be. Like, can you not? There's perverts. I'm one of them, apparently. There's perverts all over the internet who would find that. Don't you think?
I love how you said you weren't going to Google it because it would put you on a list, and then you fucking said it on the internet.
Yeah, but it's different. I'm saying it, I'm doing it displaced from the actual thing of it happening. Like, I wouldn't do it because
Wouldn't you?
She was a child. Like,
sorry.
But I'm just saying... There's some people out there who are gross, and I understand that they're gross.
Well, I don't know where the fuck that went.
I asked you the question, like, do you think that's the case?
Maybe.
A few years ago, one of those things got either sold or stolen from like a Madame Tussauds kind of situation, wax figure place, and it was Gal Gadot.
That makes sense.
Who's a grown-up. It doesn't make it better. I'm just saying she was a grown-up. Somewhere in the world, that is just like looks like a plasterer's radio.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't know. This might get me cancelled. I'm not really sure. But I'm not advocating this. I'm not advocating people to do this or to go out and make your own wax dolls of people. They probably wouldn't be as good a quality. You wouldn't know who they were. But... you know, it made sense to me when I was watching. I'm like, well, somewhat that is somewhere. Maybe it's in like a Planet Hollywood. Do they still exist?
I don't think so. You know what this reminds me of though? I don't know like what it's called, but like years ago I saw this weird movie where like a bunch of kids, teenagers, order a sex doll and then it comes like it comes in the delivery.
Yeah, it arrives.
And then it arrives. Sorry, Jesus.
No, I followed you.
And then, like, they try to play with it, but it's too scary to them because it's almost real. They don't know what to do, so they try to get rid of it, and they just throw it on the road with, like, people hitting it all the time.
What movie is this?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a shame. Sounds excellent. It's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's like one of that. It's like that one scene in Bad Boys or Good Boys, with like Jacob Tremblay, where it's the three kids. Yeah,
I thought maybe that was it.
Honestly, could have been, but I don't remember them like driving. But yeah, all that to yes, Kristen Stewart turns into ice. Like gets frozen for like 5 turns, and in those 5 turns, we meet another character.
A few other things happen. We get the robot,
which
at first is antagonistic, and it starts out really small and then grows big. They enter the gravity field during that fight as well, because in the same way that Jumanji's like shit's going down, and you also have to continue the game. Like, you've got to keep playing even though everything's going to pot. And they kind of do that. And then he gets promoted to Field Admiral. Like, what? Field Admiral? Like that. He's Field Admiral. It's not even Field. It's Fleet.
It's Fleet Admiral?
Fleet Admiral. Which does come up later, but in a joking way. And that's when we get the introduction of the Zorgons. Now, they don't come and lizard out the place immediately. We don't know that yet. They just start attacking. Is that right?
Because I believe they bump into the house.
Yeah, because they're attracted. He tries to make mac and cheese and lights the gas hobs, and they're drawn, because they're lizards, they're drawn to heat. And that's kind of like thread through the back half of the movie of like how they have to get rid of it. Particularly after they get the reprogram card, which he thinks is for the Zorgons. He's like, reprogram, and they just shoot the house again. They use that later for the robot. It's rescue stranded astronaut. And Homie turns up and sort of goes in and says, oh, they're Zorgons and they're attracted to heat. Let's turn everything off, turn off the pilot light, all that kind of stuff. And then he lights a couch on fire and like pushes it out it reminded me in, I think it's the first episode of Firefly, the sci-fi TV series where they have a crybaby, which is like a barrel that's got a fake pulse beacon on it, and it like distracts people, and they're like, oh, we got to go and deal with that, as opposed to, it reminded me of that. It's like a bit of a decoy. Dax Shepard as the rescued astronaut, who we will later find out isn't just any old astronaut, has some of the most satisfying looking sandwiches.
Right?
And a pickle. Looking absolutely fantastic. I was sitting there having finished my vegan shepherd's pie, and I was like, I could absolutely have a sandwich also.
I mean, like, going from that to like Jon Favreau directing Chef, of all things, it's there. The pedigree is there.
Still his best movie. Fuck you, Swingers.
I've not seen that, but I do agree that Chef is
it's his first movie. It was Swingers, then Made, and then it might have been this. I don't know if he did anything else in between that, but yeah, I still think that Chef is his best movie. It's just so personal, Also featuring sandwiches. So clearly he was on the path to Sandwichville.
Irrespective of you not knowing it, I only remembered that twist from like the one time that I saw it. Knowing that and going back into it, every time every time the astronaut says anything, he's always endearing and loving to Danny, and he's always trying to show Walter how big of an asshole he's acting like. And it all makes sense by the end. But I found that very interesting that like he calls him boss man.
Well, he keeps saying he's the one who spun him, and it's interesting. You have to wonder what the history of that character is. Then if he was stuck, has he then has the game always been there? Then I guess that's the case. No one else has played it. He's just been stuck in Zethura, and yet he knows more of the rules and things like that. I think the first I don't remember the first time I saw this, so I don't remember picking whether or not that it was him, that he was grown up Walter. Sorry, everybody. We're going to get there eventually. But I remember thinking it's interesting how he's also got the same card. Like he's like, I'm the Fleet Admiral. Fuck! Fleet Admiral. What couldn't I say? And I completely threw us off on a tangent. Mayor's Oreos. That was absolutely insane. I can't remember what the fuck I was talking about. Hang on.
He has the same card.
He has the same card with I'm the Fleet Admiral, and that I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why he has that too, because Dax Shepard is very handsome, that little kid is a shit heap. So I was fucking gorgeous as a kid, and the only thing that's happened is I've gotten taller. So
you've gotten more gorgeous because I haven't seen your baby pictures. So you're more gorgeous.
It's very true. I don't think I've seen my baby pictures. Someone's got them alongside a wax figurine of Kristen Stewart. Oh, mental. I hope no one holds that against me. I just thought it was funny. I don't fucking care. Whatever. This is the one that kind of made me go, oh, fuck. The court cheating. Danny tries to move the piece in order to win the game. He's still cheating because he wants to beat his older brother. And there's a beautiful moment where he says later, he's just like, I just want to hang out with you. I just want to play with you. You're my brother. Like, you've got to be nice to me. Like, that's what this is. That's all I want from you. And I know what that's like because I was a younger brother and my sister thought I was really annoying for her entire teenage years. We're good friends now, but I was the little annoying little brother who was, always around. And she had parties at our house and I was there, which was insult enough, But it was the moment where they kind of have, what's funny?
Because you're like, she had parties at her house and I was just there. Like,
yeah. I was. It's not like she's like, stay in your room or you got to go to a friend's place or whatever. So I was just like, she'd be having a party. There'd be all these teenagers. That's not the music I listen to. I listen to old music like The Doors and stuff. Like, bring on through the other, smoking joints and drinking all this stuff. And then out comes this little 11-year-old me. Hello, everyone. I'm getting a juice box or whatever the fuck. I'm going to go back and watch RoboCop. And then all the little drunk older kids would want to talk to me. Because I'm like a little kid, the way that people do when they're drunk, they just want to get involved with things. And I was just a little kid and I thought they liked me. But no, they were shit-faced. You know, God bless. But so I was taking away heat from her partying. And that was annoying. So I kind of get that relationship. My sister doesn't listen to this. She'd be like, that's not true. Yeah, so they're caught cheating and they have this back and forth screaming argument and it's legit, like, especially Danny, like he's really giving it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. Sometimes all my cats talk at once when it's dinner time. It's the cutest fucking thing you'll ever hear in your life. Meow, 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 meow. It's excellent.
I remember being that kind of kid, so that's, like, it's not a good reminder. But I remember becoming friends with my brother, like, before, like, he entered his teenage years. I was like, we're brothers, we're gonna fight. It comes with the package, you can't do anything. But I'm still gonna love you. I might not like you sometimes, but I'll still love you.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about this movie. It's you don't choose your family, you know, but you can choose how you react to them, and how you behave around them. Caught cheating, and got to go back some spaces, and then we get the unfreeze, and then we get another really uncomfortable part of this movie.
Yes, which is probably the most uncomfortable thing ever.
I mean, turning her into a sex doll, that's pretty uncomfortable.
They did not. She was in cryo sleep.
I don't think everybody. What's that? Sorry.
She was in cryo sleep. They did not turn her into a sex doll. Jesus,
I'm just saying.
What kind of porn are you into, man?
She comes out of cryo sleep and sees Dak Shepard, and what happens?
And she falls in love with his eyes, his handsome eyes, beautiful eyes.
It's like I trust him for some reason, you know. I just feel safe with him, and it's because it's her grown-up brother.
And and she also like gets very touchy-feely with him as well.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's I mean, also, so was my joke. About the Frozen version of her. But still, it's my show. Get your own damn podcast. But it doesn't further the plot at all.
It doesn't. It's a very weird joke that then like 8-year-old or like fucking 10-year-old Walter says it back to her, which is super weird. Yeah, and it's like, do kids find that funny? Like, I don't find incest isn't funny. George R. R. Martin would like to disagree.
Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones isn't a fucking laugh riot. It's not a chuckle fest, old Game of Thrones, except for when they pushed that kid out the window in the first episode.
What the fuck were they doing? No, tell me what the fuck were they doing?
They were getting busy, weren't
yes,
they?
It's the brother and sister getting busy when the kid sees. Yeah. It is funny.
And they pitch him out of a window. I was like, holy shit, this show's got some teeth. My goodness. Anyway, apart from Game of Thrones, this is kind of where we have it's almost like a proper third act because the game becomes less important and they start having like an adventure. The Zorgons turn up. They attack the house with these huge big harpoons, which is really cool. All this looks fucking great. It's so well photographed. It's so well like choreographed. You know, the action and having to get Danny go down in the dumbwaiter to go because they get in the house and using all the trash from the house to fire their furnaces, and he's got to go down and get the game, which has been lost in sort of the melee. And this whole section is just sort of like fun and games kind of stuff. Also,
it doesn't really get lost. The Zorgons the Zorgons show back up because they bring them back because the Zorgons ship has the game. So for the majority of that act, they don't have the game, so they have to get them back. Which is where they start up the furnace and make their house into an inferno, and Kristen Stewart comes back down, and then they're like, "Oh, you're alive!"
Yes, they are like, "You're alive!" That's right. I did forget one part though. After she comes back, Walter gets the golden ticket and he gets to make a wish on the shooting star. And he wishes for a signed football.
Dumbest fucking
you could have just
ever.
wished us out of the game, you fuckhole. Like,
You could,
but then we
there are
wouldn't have
no
a third
fucking
act.
rules. You could have wished for like 100 wishes. The card doesn't say rules. Man.
You know how you have a problem before you were like, oh, fucking vampires, when they can't, you're going to invite them in. That's silly. It's so stupid. Like, wishing for more wishes. I like the Aladdin version. And Ixnay and the wishing for more wishes. That's all you get. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutes, exchanges, or refunds. Sorry, I know that movie very well.
That's an incredible impression.
No, it wasn't. It was loose as. I really liked the guy at the beginning. Salam and good evening to your worthy friends. Please come closer. Come closer. Too close. A little too close. Anyway, golden ticket, shooting star, football, Gorgon attack, losing the game. When do they have to go back one space?
Go back. That's the end. Like after they've retrieved the game and they've like warded off the Zorgons and like they've reprogrammed the robot that comes back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the robot's also in the basement.
Yes, they stash him there
and
because it's too scary.
Yeah, and it finally gets out, and then it's dragging Walter down, and he's like, reprogram it, and he says reprogram, and that tiny little thing in its head goes and like reprograms it, and then it's on their side, and he whoops the Zorgon's asses.
I love that. Like all of that is like an exoskeleton, and it's like a mutated wire inside, just being alive.
It's a really cool design.
It's so cool, and like it doesn't have to be that cool because it's a 1 second shot, but it is that cool.
But that's where it counts. It's where you go the extra yard, even though it's because that's the stuff that people remember.
Yeah,
that Tomorrowland's filled with that, which we're doing next week, everybody. Tomorrowland's filled with that stuff, where it's like this quick. And Constantine's the same. Like, it doesn't orient you at all. Like, there's no orientation for understanding how the world works or anything. It's just like, this is what's up. And you get those tiny little details of like, this is how it works. So this is the thing. But they don't explain it. They're just like, this is it. And then it adds to the richness of the world. Okay, so yeah, the thing inside of that robot is a tiny little, the thing that operates it is this tiny little thing. But it's actually this huge robot as well. And you only see that a few times. But that you remember it. You're like, oh, that's cool. You kind of think that out. And we go back a space and he hits a time warp. This is after the Zorgons have been defeated by the robot and by the astronaut, who we now find out because Walter gets a second go at the wish. He says quietly to himself, because the astronauts also said, I played this game too, and I wish for my little brother to have never been born, and I got stuck here because I'm a fucking shit ape. I'm you. That kind of thing. And so he says, I wish that he had his brother back, not knowing that that's what it was. And then all of a sudden, in front of them appears a second Danny as a child. And he goes over and hugs him, and he's like, I'm your brother. And he goes, no, you're not. He is. He's like, no, I'm the grown-up version. We realise that it's been grown-up Walter all the time. And Kristen Stewart's Lisa character throws up in her own mouth.
Yep. Well, I did take a note for that, so let me find it. Right. I was going to say, for the astronaut, for him, he's been lost without his brother for 15 years, and now, breaking all barriers of time and space, Danny is the one who calls him. Danny's the one who calls his brother from deep space, albeit a different version of himself, when he needs him the most.
It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story about bruvs, about siblings, and through this sort of plot twist, they assimilate each other. Walter and older Walter, the Dak Shepard characters assimilate each other. So we only have one of each now. And they're able to win the game. And everything reverts back, does it not?
Well, they don't win the game because the fucking black hole happens.
Yeah, that's right. They get to Zethura, the black hole happens, yeah, and they get pulled into it. But that resets everything, is that right?
And yeah, because you finish the game and then that resets and you're back to before Danny presses the go button for it to actually begin his turn. And I love that. Like it's a forced perspective shot where the game Zathura is in the foreground and Danny's face is in the background. But you don't really see it because it's there and it's gone. but it's definitely a forced perspective shot because the head is it's a little bigger than the frame.
Yeah, or they've used a bigger prop.
Yeah.
For the thing as well. But yeah, it's cool. Really like how it kind of all resets and the dad comes home and they're like, oh my God, this all happened. He's like, that sounded like you had a really good time, you two idiots. Can you shut up and go with your mum because I'm going to do cocaine and have sex workers here all weekend while you guys are gone. It's going to be fucking amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be like the 1980s. So they go, play ball out the front and they're all being all friendly and nice and everything. And Kristen Stewart comes out and says, we never speak of this. And he's like, oh, my beautiful eyes and bleh, and all that stuff. And they get in the car. And then just as they leave frame, the bike drops on the lawn. And I forgot that. I fucking love that detail. I don't know. It really got me.
Yeah, I love that. I love how the dad is also like, he's come back and he's like, okay, get the fuck out because I have to like go to my, go and meet my friends at Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I'm going to go and meet Morgan Freeman. I've got to leave him some cash under a tree or whatever the fuck. I can't remember. I've got to crawl through a river of shit. Danny and Walter had to go into a river of shit. And that river of shit was called Zathura. Anyway, God bless Morgan Freeman. He was actually in another really good movie I watched the other night, A Good Person.
Yeah.
The Zach Braff directed picture with Florence Pugh. Everyone shit on that when it came out because it was really kind of tainted by the fact that Zach Braff and Florence Pugh were together, and there's quite an age difference, and everybody had a massive problem with it for whatever reason. And they'd broken up at that point, but they were still making this movie together, which is kind of nice. But it kind of got lost in that, and it's fucking excellent. It's the best. Okay, Unforgiven, pretty great, but I don't think I've seen old Morgan Freeman, better than that. Like he's playing this old grizzled cop. It's so great.
Yeah, it's like the same fucking thing with Harry Styles spitting on Chris Pine,
which didn't happen.
It didn't happen, but it fucking it derailed the entire marketing of that film.
And also the fact that Florence Pugh wouldn't do press for it and stuff because she didn't like the way that Olivia Wilde directed. They didn't have enough rehearsal time, and also Olivia Wilde was engaged in a relationship with the Harry Styles kid while she was still married to Ted Lasso. Yeah. And I think there was Florence Pugh had a problem with that. But yeah, you're right. Like, I shouldn't know that. There's no reason I need to know that, but I know it, and it did. It kind of really affected the way people see the film. And that film's really good also. So it's just like Stepford Wives.
Yeah. Also, I believe they shot it in 2 or 3 weeks. And it was a very labor of love indie project that they were so proud of. And it just then what do you went to watch?
It's really fucking good. She's amazing in it. Like she's kind of a little bit like post Little Women, getting sidelined or sidetracked by Marvel projects. But I mean, Sebastian Stan's been nominated for an Academy Award 3 times since being the Winter Soldier, so I guess he's making out all right. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what goes on with Thunderbolts. That's the end of this phase of Marvel, apparently.
Is it? Are we starting with fucking Fantastic Four?
We must be. That's a fucking pterodactyl. Jesus Christ. Did you see the size of that bug? Fuck my hole. How did they get in here? It got in through Zathura. There's no way it would have fit in any other way in this house. Shit, everyone. You should have seen it. I don't normally panic about that kind of thing. It's back! Fuck me! Get fucked! It's really big.
It's a true sequel because Jumanji had the big ass fucking mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's right. It's a proper sequel. I need to get out of here. I don't know how fucking that thing's gonna if it's a mosquito, it's gonna one boom and just and I'll be rake thin all of a sudden. I'll be completely drained, fuck, and then out. Ridiculous. Anyway, Zathura rules, everybody. You should go back and check it out. It's fucking lovely, and it's a really good companion piece to this. So, do you want to do top 3 favorite bits?
I do want to do that because I feel like I haven't said much this episode.
Did I hijack the whole fucking thing?
No, I just feel like we were laughing too much. I didn't really say anything.
Cool. All right. Well, what's your one of your favorite bits?
No, you go first.
the vagina is one of them. Okay, sorry.
Whose exactly?
That's not true. That's not whose. Oh, just general vaginas. Just general vaginas sounds like a military man who gets a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck, here comes General Vaginas. Ladies and gentlemen, please take off your hats and stand for General Vaginas. Everyone's like, why didn't he change his name? Why is it Vaginas? Why isn't it General Vagina?
Then the next one is General Flaps.
General Flaps. No, it's Major Flaps.
Major Flaps.
Colonel Pussy.
And then
you know.
Colonel Pussy is the one who finds General Flaps, Major Flaps, and General Vagina in a... What am I saying?
I don't know. I'm so excited on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, he finds them in having sex in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. And they get thrown out of the military, and they're no longer... But then they stay together, and they go and they watch baseball games together, and then also give each other blowjobs. Not at the baseball because you get thrown out, but I'm just thinking they're old timey folks. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing: fucking Admiral Clunge will not have a piece of it. And President Cooter, what's the one that Haley Seinfeld said? My coos. I'd never heard that before. Have you heard that word for vagina before? That's one I've got to add to the list.
What the fuck have you made?
No, I just mean like when someone said, I remember talking to, I think it might have been Alex, my camera assistant. I think we might have sat one time and been like, what are all the words for penis and vagina? And then gone through more. Coos wasn't on the list.
I don't know you could do that with people. I should, you know what? I shouldn't.
I'll give you Alex's number. She'd be happy to talk about it. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about? We just went through an entire, like, you know, the US military, but vaginas.
What's your favorite part of the film? Number 3.
I like it how you think that you're going to get in trouble for saying that you're, you know, the country you live in's government banned mac and cheese, but we can talk about all sorts of general vaginas.
Well, they didn't ban it. I just haven't had it.
Captain C-word and all that stuff. You just haven't had it. Yeah. Okay, that's all right. Favorite bits? Because I said vagina. That's how we got there. Okay, here we are. Oh, God. I wonder how much of this is actual, like, talking about the movie. Like, if we were to remove everything that was completely off topic, this show would go for 4 minutes. So, geez, the Film Addicts podcast was short this week because they've removed all of the filth talk. Well, and it's just me talking about the fucking poor Kristen Stewart's doll.
To be fair, it's like 6. It's like 4 minutes of actual good shit, and then the other is just petting.
That's, heavy petting, and then...
Foreplay.
Sandwich. Okay.
What's your favorite thing, man?
I don't know. I don't even know what movie we're talking about anymore. Fuck.
We're talking about Zathura Space Adventure.
Zathura the Space Adventure. I really like the bit where Dan gives him sass because he's like, the water won't work, we're in space. And he turns it on and the tap, that's not going to work, we're in space. And he lights the pilot light. He lights the hobs. And he goes, any other advice? Like, that's a proper little brother sass, and I dug it.
My number 3 is before like all that happens, he's trying to play catch with him indoors. And Danny's trying to play catch with him indoors, and Walter is sitting on the chair in front of the TV, which is a tangent again. That's too close to the TV. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he's sitting too close. But he throws it once, and he catches it and throws it back, and then Danny throws it again, and Walter catches, throws it back, and Danny realizes, if I just keep doing this, he wouldn't notice, and I'll be playing with him. And he throws it the third time, and it smacks him in the face.
In the face, like proper too. Like, it's like really
and he turns around and he says, "You're dead."
I'm sorry. They're good. They've got really good chemistry, those two actors, if nothing else.
Yep.
As we were talking about before, the beginning of the media shower, how it starts with the thing going through the card, because you don't know what was going to happen either. Like, you only know because you have previous with it. But if you had never seen that before, and you were like, it's kind of like Jumanji, you have a vague idea, but not that. Like, not that specific shot. I always liked that a lot. This
is a weird one, but I like the game a lot this time. Like, Jumanji is cool. It's a lot of rolling and reading, and like the reading is like my least favorite part about D&D because I have to read a lot of shit that I wrote, and then half of it doesn't make sense. But this is like, a card comes out, and like every time a card comes out, it's like a reward. So it's like a reward system that like fascist governments just keep giving you, so that you think that you're good, but you're actually not, and it's all just fucking dystopian world. But yeah, it's fun, good game.
I loved how you connected it to fascist regimes. That's awesome. I do like it how the first card comes in. A card come out, and he goes, fascinating. Like, it's just, you're a little bitch, Walter. You are such a bitch. It's ridiculous.
He's not a
little
bitch, dude.
Walter.
He's a biatch.
He's a biatch. Make me a sandwich, biatch, and a banana cognac. So that was a Dave Chappelle joke. Favorite part all round is when we see the Zorgons. Like, I just love a man in a suit or whatever, or I love animatronics, and I love, creature stuff that's well lit. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. I dig it the most.
I'm going to cheapen out and just say my favorite part is like the realization of the audience and the characters that the astronaut is Walter. I like that's something that hits a lot closer when you're like an elder sibling. Because you can, like, while watching this, you can kind of remember the piece of shit you were, which is never fun, but hopefully you can grow and learn. And that's weird that's in a movie with frozen Kristen Stewart doll and lizards
and incest jokes.
Yeah, incest jokes. Yeah,
but it is very good. It's Zethura, everybody, a space adventure. Go and check it out. It's at your local video store now, I'm sure, if you live back in time. We'll be back next week to talk about Tomorrowland, which is going to be the conclusion of our Euclidean Jumanji-style trilogy thing. I fucking love Tomorrowland. I reckon it's really underrated, and it's about being hopeful, and we love that on the show. So please do come back and join us for that. Before we go, do we have any questions? I want to live. It's actually Action, isn't it? Damn, I fucked it up. You know that song?
I don't.
No? Okay, well then, fuck it. Questions?
Yeah, we have one from one. I'm not.
Got one?
Yes.
Got one from one?
Yes.
It takes one to know one. One singular sensation. One is the loneliest number. I can't stop. You're number one, mate. Can you hurry up and get to the question? Because I can't stop.
I'm trying to get to the question, man. Where the fuck is it?
He's doing Juan's doing some stand-up?
I did not know that.
Yeah, one not only.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yep. Addy has left the chat. He's turned his back on me. Oh, dear. That's not a bad idea, Juan. Juan, for all of you who don't know, is one of the hosts of Until the End of the Line podcast. And he's a beautiful human being. We love him dearly. But his name's funny. My name's fucking hysterical too. Rhymes with my diet. Every time I have to explain that to people, it's ridiculous. Why introduce myself as Reegs? Or Regan the Vegan. Yeah, it's hysterical. Not doing it on purpose. Just don't like eating animals.
That should be a D&D character name. Regan the Vegan.
Regan the Vegan. He'd be useless. He's malnourished. He plays the flute. And the miasma of his toxic farts would kill everybody. Like, it's just ridiculous.
So one asks, having a choice between jungle death game, or a space death game, which one would you choose?
Space! Yeah, probably Zathura, because... Oh, no, wait. With the jungle one, you get animals, but they'll most likely kill you.
What are you planning to do
Monkeys
with the
with
animals?
Just look at them.
Okay.
What, I'm not what do you think this is? My goodness.
You want to rewind like 20 minutes ago when you were talking about a doll?
I was about to say, if they were wax figures of animals, I would come on them.
That's why you have like a lot of taxidermy in your house.
Yeah, no, it's not. They're wax. They're not. I don't taxidermy. That's absolutely abhorrent. Wax figurines of full-grown animals that I come on. What is happening on the show? Okay, none of that happens. I think I would. Oh no. Okay. Hang on a minute. I don't even know what we're talking about now. Right, so there's no way I'll ever be there's no way I'll ever get to your laugh. I need to put in a laugh track because your laugh is completely silent and people think I'm fucking nuts laughing at myself and you're sitting there stone-faced. He's not. You're pissing your pants. Probably space, yeah, because there's no way in any other circumstance I would see space, and there's plenty of jungles here on Earth that I could go to and successfully, chart them without being murdered by everything. Yeah, so space.
I'm going to choose space as well because at least I have a house that has like running plumbing in space.
And you can make mac and cheese finally.
Finally, yeah.
After all these years. Well, there you go, one. You tell us what yours would be, and you all out there, what would you rather? Space, adventure, jungle boogie? Just let us know in the comments. Such a pleasure having you again. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Sorry it was a bit blue, but then again, that's what you've come to expect. It's season 4, everybody. There's only so much apologising I can do. We love you. Please come back next week for Tomorrowland. And Addie...
I love you, man. I don't know how we got through this episode.
I'm not even convinced we did. I haven't edited it yet, so I might listen back and go, wow, 45% of that is usable. But whatever. It is what it is, everybody. We're here for a good time. No hard feelings. No malice intended. We love each other. We love you all. We love movies. And that's why we're here. So, please come back and join us next week. And remember...
Stay amazing. Stay safe. I do have a question for you, though. Do you know Papua New Guinea?
Do I know Papua New Guinea?
No, do you know the place Papua New Guinea?
Grandfather was stationed there during the war. So, yes, I'm quite familiar with it. Not that I was there at the time. Like, he was there by himself. Well, there was other soldiers there, I would imagine, but he was there doing his soldier business, and I heard a lot of stories. But, yeah.
So, I want to peel your zucchini.
Excuse me.